If you're feeling exhausted at work, the chances are you're probably not alone. The Mercer Global Talent Trends recent report in 2025 said that over 80% of all employees are feeling on the verge of burnout. So what if I told you that there was a tool out there that you can implement straight away that'll not only help you feel more energized in the work that you do, but actually help you work out what might be draining your tank and causing that pathway to burnout? And that's exactly what the Working Genius can do for you and your team. In the next 6 videos of this series, I'm going to break down every single one of the geniuses over 3 key questions. Number 1, what kind of genius is this? 2, what sorts of things do the people with these geniuses think or say? Number 3, what impact on a team does this genius have? Or what impact does it have when it's missing? But before we get going, what I want to do is just break down what the Working Genius is for you, give you a quick little overview before we start getting into each genius. So firstly, the Working Genius is this incredible tool for productivity. It helps people in their teams work out what gives them joy and what drains their energy. The things that give you joy are called your geniuses, and the things that drain your energy are called frustrations. And there are 6 types of work that the Working Genius understands that all of us have to go through in a team scenario or working on our own to get something done. There are 6 types of work that we have to go through, and they work through wonder, invention, discernment, galvanizing, enablement, and then tenacity. And at every single one of those stages to get something done, there is a certain type of work that we have to do to progress that project or that process through. So the Working Genius says that there are 2 geniuses that we all have at any stage in the Working Genius process, but there are also 2 frustrations. And then in the middle, you've got your working competencies. And they could be anywhere across the map. You could have geniuses at the start of the process, and then at the end, you might have your frustrations anywhere along that process, and then your working competence could be anywhere as well. And so the last thing to remember about the Working Genius is that it's not a personality test. It's not something that is about a communication style or something that is about your personality. It's aimed at work, which is why it's so great for teams and developing collaborative practice. It's about productivity and getting things done. So in the next 3 minutes, we're going to unpack the first genius, the genius of wonder, and we're going to do it through all of these 3 questions. Right, let's get going. Okay, first question. What kind of genius is wonder? Well, the wonder genius is the ability to reflect and think widely about the world around us. It's one of those geniuses where you're looking at the world and looking at your work and the types of things that you're doing. You're coming up with questions that you might be having, and often they're in areas that other people don't recognize. So the wonder genius is really drawn into that reflective space. They're often looking around and questioning about the way things are. They're not just taking things for granted. They're always questioning the status quo, and often it's about recognizing patterns of things that might be happening at that bigger picture level. What's great about the Wonder Genius is that it's setting the stage for something to be different or better. It's not just accepting things that are the way they are. They're asking questions about the world around them and asking, can those things be improved? And it sets the scene for that innovation and the next genius that comes next. Okay, question 2. What sorts of things do people with the genius of wonder say? Well, there's lots of different things that you'll hear when the genius of wonder is out there. Obviously, one of them is, I wonder if, and then there's like a dot and a response after that. You might hear people say things like, have we always done it that way? Or basically anything that has a question in it, that's the question of wonder. And the other thing that people with geniuses of wonder are doing is they're trying to look at things from a different angle. So if you're ever in a situation where people are asking questions about something that you're doing, then chances are that's the genius of wonder at work. And so full disclosure, I have a genius of wonder. It's one of the geniuses that I've got. And a quick little story, one of the things that used to drive my classmates really mad when I was at university at college is the lecturer at the end of a lesson would say, so does anybody I know we've run out of time, does anybody have any questions? And half of my classmates would sit here and go, oh no, here we go. Because Mark would always come out and I'd ask a question. There was something about that moment in time where I would almost look for opportunities. There was a real sense of joy, and I used to get a real energy out of asking questions in that scenario. Part of it was because I knew that this was my opportunity to dive a little bit deeper into the content or to understand the concept a little bit deeper. But people who have the genius of wonder are often, if they're feeling comfortable in the team and if they're feeling like they can contribute and they've got a voice, then you'll often have those questions come out partway through or at the very beginning or even at the end of it. Sometimes it's even, why are we having this meeting? All right, the last question. What impact does the wonder genius have on a team when it's apparent and it's present, but also what impact does it have when it's missing? Well, the first thing is that the genius of wonder prompts a response and something new for something to be able to happen with the team. And so you'll be in a scenario, rather than just doing the doing and executing, the genius of wonder is going to be able to prompt some new approach or something new that's going to happen from that. And so often a project will start with the very question that comes out of the wonder genius. So when the genius of wonder is present, it's going to be a real gift to that team because it's going to help people see patterns and reflect on situations that they're in a way that's going to improve things or develop a project and a really good outcome further down the track. But when it's missing, what often happens is that teams miss the opportunity to have that reflection, and often things will just progress as normal. You get stuck in this pattern of if you're always going to get what you've always got because you don't do anything different. And so the wonder genius, if it's missing, then you won't have the opportunity to start a new process of innovation further down the track. A couple of other things that I think is quite important to note too with the genius of wonder. Sometimes it can be really easy for people who don't have that genius to think that people who are often asking questions and thinking at that bigger picture, they can kind of think that sometimes their heads are in the cloud, or you're not really being practical, or you're being a little bit airy-fairy. And so often that can be seen as dragging the team down or slowing the process along the way. And that's one of the things that the genius of wonder, that's what those people have to take into consideration. They have to know when to use. And you'll see that pattern as we go through the different geniuses. There are things that you have to do with that genius to have some discernment and some wisdom would be the better word to use about when to use it at a particular time. So that's something to just sort of take a note of about the genius of wonder. So there you go. That's the first unpack of the first genius, the genius of wonder, right at the very start of the whole Working Genius widget. So we're going to be unpacking these as we go through. The next one is going to be ideation. You'll have to wait for that next video. But I wonder, when you've been listening to the description of this wonder genius, I wonder if that's something that you've got. You can tell that I've got it just in the way that I asked the question. It might be a genius of yours, but it also could be one of your frustrations as well. It could be that you really don't like being in scenarios where you have to ask questions, or people who ask questions actually tick you off a little bit. So that's probably a little bit of a flag. As you're going through the series, you can listen and you can do a little bit of a self-assessment and reflect on your own practice and your own emotions and feelings about each of these geniuses as you come along. Often when I'm describing this to individuals or groups, people can usually do the assessment of where their geniuses and frustrations lie. If you'd like something that's a little bit more exact, there is a self-assessment survey that you can do at the workinggenius.com website, and we can facilitate that at Good Groups. If you'd be interested in doing an assessment individually, contact us. You can just go to our website and click on the Contact Us link there, and we'll be happy to jump online with you and help you work through that assessment and give you a bit of a coaching session. But if you'd like to do a workshop with us as well, you can contact us on the website. So thanks for watching this quick video about wonder. We're going to be doing ideation next. You'll have to wait for that next one, or in our YouTube channel, you can click on the next one if you're a few weeks down the track. If you'd like to reach out, goodgroups.co.nz. We might see you there.